Hello and welcome to part 4 of the SMS video series. Today we're going to talk about when does SMS update. Alright, my name is Julie from Motor Carrier Assistant, and in this video, again, we're going to have two main topics. How do the records get into SMS, and when is SMS actually updated? Alright, so let's get started. I'd like to take this opportunity to remind you, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so. We have a lot of content on the works and you don't want to miss any of it. So when you first log into SMS, you're going to see two dates. One of them is under the safety rating and other service rates, and same date under the licensing and insurance area. So here, this date is yesterday. Every time you go in, that date is going to be yesterday. And what this is telling you is that the information in these areas, they are calculated on a daily basis and they are provided to SMS for display. So that applies only to those two areas there. But the second date is here in the middle, and this one is the date of the snapshot. And that snapshot means is the date when SMS goes to the main FMCSA databases and they make a copy of the data. So all your inspections, all your crashes, all your information is there in your main database. But once a month, towards the end of the month, SMS goes in to make a copy of the data that it's going to need for the following update. That's the snapshot. So let me bring you through a quick flow here. This is a little bit over simplified, but it will give you an idea what's going on. So inspections and crashes, they're done at the state level. The state is going to send these records over to FMCSA, and they're going to get stored into this main database. This happens live. This happens all the time, every day. Once a month, SMS is going to go in and make a copy of the data that it needs. And once the data is validated, double checked, triple checked, and all the calculations are done for the new ratings, the SMS page is going to update. So this is what you're going to see, your update once a month. Now, let's go through a couple of examples to show you what happens time-wise. So say the inspection was from 12/26/23. You have a copy of that inspection. You know it happened on 12/26. That record, electronic records, they take 2 to 3 days to get uploaded and get processed by the main database. So the date there is 12/28. So now by 12/28, that inspection is in that main database, part of FMCSA. So now, as scheduled, the snapshot date takes place on 12/29. Again, that is set. That's not going to change unless something really drastic happens. But that date is set, and in a little while, I'm going to tell you how to get to that schedule, so you know exactly when that's happening. So 7 to 10 days later, the SMS page, after it has gone through all the calculations and such, the page is going to update, and in this case, it was updated on January 8th. So here, from the date of the inspection to the date when SMS was actually updated, took about 2 weeks. So this right here is going to be your best case scenario. The inspection got there just before SMS made a copy. So the inspection made it into that copy. So you're going to get your inspection on time right there in your SMS page. So again, it took about 2 weeks. Best case scenario. So let's go through this again. And say the inspection, same date, 12/26/23. Now there was some sort of delay. Something happened at the state level. The inspection was not uploaded timely. So SMS comes in as scheduled on 12/29 and made a copy of that database. Then the inspection shows up. It gets processed and is now in the main database, but it got there a little too late. SMS is not going to wait. So SMS is just going to update your page accordingly now on January 8th. So what happens? Because the inspection get there a little too late, it get there after the SMS copy was made, it's not part of the snapshot. And if it's not part of the snapshot, it's not going to be in the update of the SMS. All right, so here you are thinking, I got my inspection done on 12/26, and now it's January 8th. Where's my inspection? So now what happens? The inspection is still in that main database, and it's going to sit there until the following SMS snapshot takes place. And that's going to be on January 26th. So now SMS makes a copy, it's there, and your SMS page is going to be updated on February 5th. So from the date of the inspection to that update took about 6 weeks. So is this the worst case scenario? Not really. This right here is going to be the best of the worst case scenarios. So anything can happen. So the inspection can take longer to be uploaded. It could take longer to actually get processed. Something can happen with the SMS copy. Something can actually happen with the SMS update. It could be a delay there. So what I'm saying is that it could be longer, a lot longer than 6 weeks. So in the meantime, you're still waiting for that inspection to arrive. So I'm giving you all these dates so you can actually have an idea. Like if you're waiting for an inspection and you know the date of the snapshot, you know the date of the update, and if it doesn't happen, if you know that inspection took place and you don't see it, there's a couple of things you can do. So one, you can file a data queues request reporting your inspection missing. If you're not sure on how to do this, you can follow my videos on data queues. I'm gonna set the links up in the description. So here, basically, you're telling the state, "Where's my inspection?" I got the copy of the form. You're gonna submit that, and you're gonna let them know the report date and the report number. Again, just asking for that inspection. You want to check on the status of that. Most likely, they still have it. If you look at the top area of your data queues request, you'll see here the agency that has been assigned with the data queues. These are the people that own that inspection at this point. You'll see the phone number right there also, so you can give them a call. And again, just ask, where's my inspection? Another thing you can do is you can check on your the driver vehicle examination report. So this is like the actual inspection paper copy that you get. Here at the top left, you'll see the agency. It should be the same one as in data queues. And again, contact info, you'll have the address, the phone number, and the email. So I would do both. Go ahead and submit the data queues request and also give them a call. You know, the saying, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. Well, here's what we're doing, right? We're making a lot of noise. You want your record. So here is the schedule for the snapshot dates and the release dates. The release dates is when the website actually updates. So for February, they took a copy of the data on January 26th, and the website actually updated on the week of February 5th. They usually give you like the week of, and the update happens on the Tuesday of that week. Unless something goes wrong, you know, it could be delayed a couple of days or so, but for the most part, the update takes place on a Tuesday. So check this out. Knowing this date is important. At least you know when the inspection took place. You know more or less when it should arrive at a SMS. So the link is right here. I'm going to include that also in the description so you'll have that handy. One thing you want to keep in mind also is when you file your data queues, the same process that took place, the flow that I showed you with the different dates, that also applies to data queues. So now If you have an inspection that you submitted the request to have something taken off, like a violation removed, so the request itself is going to go to the state, is going to get analyzed, they're going to look at the paperwork. There might be a little bit of back and forth between you and the state. Eventually, they are going to agree with you and say, all right, we'll remove the violation. You're going to get an email that is going to say it has been done. So, this is what really happens. And this is true for most states. The person who is handling the data queues request, it's not the same person who actually has to make the update and has to upload the inspection again. So one person is telling you it has been done, assuming that it's going to be done, and then the message doesn't get to the other person. So here you are thinking that it's going to get done, and a month and a half later, you're still waiting for that inspection to show up with a change, and it doesn't happen. So you want to stay on top of this. Knowing the schedule, it gives you an idea more or less when things are going to happen. So when you do the data queues request, that's going to take some time. But then when they actually update the inspection, that's going to be back to the 2 to 6 weeks. Best case and best of the worst case. It's going to be 2 to 6 weeks before you see that inspection actually show up modified. So just keep that in mind. Things don't move as quickly as we want them to. And if they have some delays, if they have some issues on their systems, that just adds more and more days to the request, to the actual delay. So keep on top of the schedule, keep on top of them, make sure that they are doing what they're supposed to be doing, and what dates things are supposed to happen. So just keep track of that. So another thing to keep in mind, and really good to know, is that when the SMS updates, all the calculations, all the ratings and everything that is generated, everything is done basically all at one time, at once, for all motor carriers. So it's an automated process that takes care of grabbing everybody's figures and calculations, and everybody gets updated. So if you have something like a data queues request, the violation gets removed, or maybe a whole inspection is removed. If things get delayed, like for example, the state has an issue with their systems and they took a little too long for them to send the inspection back up to SMS, to FMCSA, that's really out of your control. You did your part. You went to data queues, you filed everything correctly. The state took too long. But in the meantime, you still had that inspection and that violation affecting your ratings. So you can actually request, you can call SMS and request to have the system updated to show your change, that file that was modified. You can do that. They are going to look at your profile. They're going to take a look and see what the impact was of that, say the one violation or the one inspection. Did that really affect you like negatively, like a lot? So in the case of say you had a violation that put you over the threshold, you're gonna get the alert on that basic, so they can tell that, gee, if we remove that violation, we're removing that alert. In a case like that, they might do it. They might actually go in and do it manually. The manual update can be expensive. It could be labor intensive because everything has to be done manually. So they don't really like to do that. Um, Especially if the update that you're asking is too close to the regular update that happens at the end of the month or the beginning of the month. So if you're like right there, they're gonna say, no, that update's gonna happen in 3 days. Just wait. But if it's early in the month and you have still another 3 weeks to go before that happens, they might say yes. So keep that in mind when something hasn't happened or something doesn't really go the way that it should have happened. You can make that request. Um, so there's a couple of things that can get updated that doesn't affect anything else. Like if you look at your registration information, if you need to update like your address, your phone number, your email address, maybe you went to the MCS 150 form, you file an update there, and now you have to wait a whole 2 to 6 weeks before that kicks in. You can call, SMS, and just ask, I made a change. Could you update my profile? And a lot of times they will do it because it doesn't really affect anything else. Updating your email address does not imply that anything else have to change, like calculations or whatever. So they will do that. So things like I said, your address, your email, your phone number, that's all right. They will change that for you. The cargo, you can also change the cargo. That'll be okay. But if you ask for changes to like the number of drivers or the vehicle miles traveled, that right there, they will deny it because changing the number of drivers, changing the vehicle's miles traveled, that affects calculations. So they actually they might say no. Again, they take it in case by case basis, and all you can do is ask and see what they say. But chances are, most likely they're going to say no. All right, so there you have it. We looked at a couple of cases, a couple of different scenarios where inspections can get in there, just barely get into the SMS, and they can make it in 2 weeks, or it can be stretched out to 6 weeks, if not longer. So keep that in mind when you're waiting for an inspection, either a new one or maybe something that has been modified. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Just leave me a comment, ask me anything. Um, but if you do have a question for FMCSA, for SMS, the phone number is right here. Okay, so any request that you have on SMS updates, you can submit the request right there and that phone number. So hopefully they take care of you. All right, so please don't forget to subscribe. We have a lot more content on the way, so please, you don't want to miss any of it. Thank you.